research and observations of the Karamba region of India, including in-person interviews with the farmers we are developing a solution for, it was found that agricultural development in the region has remained relatively stagnant through the generations. Small changes have been made to the way farming is conducted, but for the most part, farmers in this region learn the skills from their parents. The techniques are passed down from generation to generation, with limited influence from outside on potential ways to improve operations. We talked to multiple farmers in the region, most of whom grew groundnuts and paddy. Curious as to why so many farmers grow these plants rather than vegetables, the reason became abundantly clear. There's a lack of water, vegetables require too much water to produce, and there's a limited amount of land to grow crops. We took a look at a number of crops grown in the area to see if we could better understand why certain crops were or were not grown. Peanut farming has a limited growing season and is too water, fertilizer, and labor intensive for most of our micro farmers. Dairy farming is lucrative, but has a great deal of startup costs and monthly expenses. Vegetable farming was found to be underutilized since it has very desirable year-round growing season, can use natural fertilizers, and can benefit the most from modern technology improvements. During the interviews, we discovered that there were many challenges in the local ecosystem, including access to water, minimal infrastructure, and little to no financial assistance. With many crop options available, we decided to take a closer look and focus on vegetable farming and address many of these constraints in our proposed solution. Our micro farmers needed a better way to be more efficient with their land, sell higher value products, and be able to utilize more growing seasons. Farmers need to have some ability to scale so a small investment can be expanded once they see some early success. The climate is very arid and crops are highly exposed to the elements. More rugged crops that grow below ground, like peanuts or paddy, are desirable for their resilience, but they do not have high profit margins. Hydroponics allow our farmers to address their critical needs to become more efficient, increase profit, and have more harvests a year. Once the goods are harvested, transportation efficiency will help to realize the profits faster. Our customer is a subsistence micro farmer who lives and farms less than 1 acre of land. The farmer does not make much money, is constantly fighting for time to complete all tasks, and has low literacy. The customer is generally aware of crops or goods that command a higher price and is highly motivated to create more with what they have for their families. Initially, the solution would be used in the household to grow alternative crops that they may already be purchasing for their own use. This type of setup can scale to produce enough to sell in local co-ops. We considered a number of other ideas that would address our micro farmers' needs.
Our core solution focuses on mitigating the issues we found through our research regarding why more farmers don't grow vegetables, especially given their admittance that if they could grow vegetables on a more cost-effective basis, they believe the products would sell consistently in the marketplace. There's a lack of water for veggie growth, and there's a limited amount of land to grow crops. Our simple, sustainable hydroponic farming system contains all the necessary materials for farmers to develop their own hydroponics vegetable gardening system, which is known to require significantly less water and time than traditional gardening techniques. This product would make vegetable farming for these farmers much more feasible. The core product contains the 5-gallon container which holds water during circulation cycles. Also included are instructions for assembly and implementation, the water pump and tubing, and all other necessary supplies to support use of the system. The main framing materials and PVC piping are not included in order to save size and cost of the kit, and because these materials are easily obtainable in the region. The main perceived challenges of introducing unique vegetable growth techniques to the region is skepticism. Farmers need to see a working example first and learn more about the system. The Augmented Solution, a village farmers cooperative, helps overcome this challenge. Our team will train governmental ag specialists as well as local micro farmers to learn the techniques themselves and subsequently teach other farmers. Through the cooperative, each village will also be supplied a mode of transportation to send their produce to the local markets. The remaining significant challenge, as with all products in subsistence marketplaces, regards how to finance and pay for the new system. The ecosystem of the solution involves an integrated financing operation through the help of low-risk debt guarantees from the USAID DCA program and green microfinancing loans through the Bank of India. As the core solution expands regionally, education of farmers will also expand. The overall solution is highly sustainable, increases market access to rural farmers, and increases not only profits but also time that can be spent with family. Alternatives such as traditional farming leave too large a footprint both environmentally and socially due to the extra time required of plants and traditional operations.
So the last part of our journey brings together our previous discoveries, needs formed from our insights, their drivers, the context and ecosystem within which they lie, and our core microhydroponics solution with its augmented elements. The storyboard presents our organization, GreenSpot Hydroponics, at the center of the core solution, acting as the primary coordinator of the entire system. GreenSpot sources locally supplied materials, PVC, steel, rubber, natural fertilizer liquids, and co-assembles the hydroponic units and starter kits with partner farmers such that the farmers can immediately begin the efficient production of quality vegetables and flowers for a larger market. Simultaneously, as part of its augmented solution, GreenSpot conducts hydroponic technical and marketplace literacy training with local farming vegetable cooperatives and local government agricultural intermediaries and in-field advisors, such that microfarmers have the support that they need during growing cycles. Based on a critical mass of microfarmers within the system, GreenSpot shall also provide a solar battery-powered buggy at the cooperative level for larger village market sales access on a rotational basis by cooperative members, thus allowing time savings using a community sales versus an individual sales approach. As a result, high margin sales of higher volume and wider diversity products leads to a higher revenue for the cooperative, and this is then trickled back down to the microfarmer, driving up the portion of household income derived from the hydroponics approach. The last piece of the story is the sustained funding source. Many farmers have already successfully navigated a Government India/Bank of India subsidized agricultural dairy loan program that provides local farmers with a low 2% loan. As such, in order to incentivize the bank to create a similar program for hydroponics, GreenSpot would facilitate a partnership with local USAID debt credit loss programs, guaranteeing the bank a return of 50% of any loss. The individual microfarmer would take out a loan for the entire hydroponics package, including the starter kit, technical and marketplace literacy training, year-round technical support, transport, and to cover GreenSpot overheads. The loan would then be repaid using farmer revenues, and once a track record of creditworthiness is demonstrated, the bank can then provide larger loans for a modularized scale-up of production. Based on our initial discussion with farmers, the most resounding forms of communication and training have included village-level in-person interventions where a name and a face can be placed on a program. So we plan on conducting in-person awareness building using pictorial pamphlets and demonstrations, using a mobile hydroponics mobile bus unit in conjunction with the Bank of India programs. These efforts will be bolstered by using local television and radio advertising, local cause entertainment techniques, along with support from local government agricultural advisors and provincial level leaders. How we introduce and deliver this idea will be critical. We'll begin with establishing and executing critical partnerships, local material suppliers, USAID, Bank of India, village level cooperatives. To the cooperatives, we'll begin enrollment of microfarmers. Promotional activities will be running in parallel after a critical number of farmers would be in place and partnerships are established. Next, we'll begin the education process, technical and marketplace literacy. Initial loans would then be distributed along with the co-assembly of the hydroponic starter kits. After this, we'll focus on product production and ongoing technical support, followed by efficient market access and higher revenue sales. If implemented correctly, with enough room to nimbly pivot as necessary, the last stage of loan repayment and scale-up should begin, providing a sustainable model and enough incentive for farmers to remain enrolled. Later stages could pull the bank out of the system, replacing the reliance for resources with the co-op as the borrowing entity. From top to tails, the key intermediaries within the system attain an exchange of value that aligns with their incentives. For instance, the Bank of India's program can now run at a larger and more secure level, and farmers can receive a sustained level of resources and technical support to de-risk their creditworthiness. Cooperatives, through training and market access, are now empowered, can act as a village body while providing a cost-effective training source to GreenSpot. Co-ops, while acting as the farmer's representative, also relieve the farmer of his or her daily time constraints by offsetting selling time. Last but not least are outcomes, the reason we are all doing this. Socially, our hydroponics approach bolsters the power position of the village as a whole, making them economically viable production force. It also increases village interaction, accountability, and transparency. At the individual level, it opens up more time in the day for a farmer to focus on the multitude of things that need to be done and for aspirational needs. Environmentally, hydroponics is a no-brainer. It reduces reliance on costly chemical pesticides and fertilizer, reduces waste, energy, and water consumption, and in turn re-nutrifies the farmer's existing soil for other use. Quality products are also introduced into the farmer's diet. Economically, household incomes increase year-round, are more consistent, allowing the farmers to move slightly above subsistence and spend more on aspirational goods and services. The model is scalable, providing multiple generations of continued expansion and growth. So, while we recognize that there are plenty of challenges ahead, we also note that our humble approach throughout this bottom-up journey has provided us not only with the insights and potential solutions for subsistence markets, but has also impacted the way in which we approach our own lives within developed markets. On behalf of Group 12, Derek, Steve, Alyssa, Michael, and Gautam, we thank you for your time.